and Glory, CBS Sunday.
Tonight on Dave, visit the Detroit Grand Prix Auto Race, plus an all-new Top 10, the very funny Jimmy Kimmel, and music from PJ Harvey. First, your local news.
Tonight on CBS 4 News, a man dies after driving into a canal, and police say a witness who left the scene could have made all the difference.
Police crack open a warehouse packed with stolen goods.
Plus, tracking down a Florida gator in the Big Apple. First, tonight's lotto drawing.
2001, time for your Florida Lotto game, presented by the Florida Lottery. Tonight's jackpot is worth an estimated $20 million. Ken Eflin selects the first number. 45. The second number is 48. The third number is 21. The fourth number is 4. The fifth number is 36. And the last number is 38. It's Fame, Fortune, and Adventure, the new scratch-off game from the Florida Lottery. Win a vacation at Universal Orlando, or you could win up to $10,000 instantly. Every ticket is good for an exclusive Florida Lottery offer. 2 days, 2 parks for only $48. All drawings are supervised by Lottery Security and certified by Valiente Hernandez IA International. Tonight's Florida Lotto numbers are 45, 48, 21, 4, 36, and 38. And remember, when you play, we all win.
Now, live, this is CBS 4 News at 11.
First at 11, a deadly drive to work for a young man when his car plunges into a lake, and a mysterious 911 caller who witnessed the crash then disappears. The victim in that crash only 23 years old.
And police say he might still be alive if the person who called 911 had waited to guide emergency crews at the scene. CBS 4's Mike Kirsch is live out there in Sunrise tonight. Mike.
That's right, Maggie. You can still see the tire tracks here where the vehicle went into a lake here in between the northbound, southbound lanes of the I-75 in Broward. Authorities say there is a lesson to be learned from this tragedy tonight. They say that if you ever witness something like this and you call 911, don't do what the 911 caller did today. Just take off and leave. Stay here. Wait for the rescue units to arrive. Show them where it happened. If this had happened this morning, the young motorist who went into these waters may still be alive. 23-year-old Indran Zafar was killed when his BMW, apparently experiencing tire trouble, suddenly swerved off southbound I-75 near Sunrise into this lake early this morning. Family members at a service for him tonight still can't believe it happened.
He was very nice. He was a very nice person.
An unidentified motorist called 911 after the crash.
Just saw a car going to the canal.
Where?
Okay, I'm on 75, I-75, I'm on 75 south.
Okay, was it north or south of 595, do you know?
South of 595.
All right, sir. That's a tricky intersection.
But after he called, the caller didn't stay around, delaying the efforts of a rescue team searching for Zafar's exact whereabouts.
That in itself is very disheartening that someone wouldn't take the time where if a vehicle ran off the road and they had knowledge that they wouldn't wait a few minutes for us to get there.
And I still can't believe it. He does not deserve this. He does not deserve this.
And there is still no word tonight whether or not authorities have actually identified who this caller is and whether or not they will take action against him. Reporting live in West Broward, Mike Kirsch, CBS 4 tonight.
Thank you, Mike. We're following a developing story right now out of the greater Los Angeles area. These are live pictures coming into us from one of the Los Angeles stations. And this is the end of a 2-hour chase. You can see several California Highway Patrol units in back of this silver minivan. And the driver of that minivan had just ran out of gas after about a 2-hour chase. We're told it began east of Los Angeles in a city called Ontario, where the man in that van reportedly held up a gas station at gunpoint, supposedly armed with an assault rifle as well, and according to at least one report, was telling police that he would not be taken alive. That led to the 2-hour chase across a number of freeways around Los Angeles through the East Los Angeles area. And you can see this driver doing about anything to get away at one point, doing a U-turn. But just moments after this video was taken, back now to live pictures, the driver ran out of gas and has been surrounded. And I can correct myself now. This was a 4-hour chase altogether, which would have meant that it would have started around the beginning of rush hour rush hour traffic in Los Angeles. The vehicle is surrounded now. Live pictures. We'll continue to watch this story unfold near Los Angeles, and when there are any new developments, we'll bring them right to you. Maggie.
Steve, we're following another developing story closer to home together with our news partners at the Sun Sentinel. Someone is stealing from the Fort Lauderdale Fire Department. More than 50 employees are being questioned tonight after morphine and Valium in vials was replaced with saline solutions at fire stations for the second time. The missing drugs were discovered during a routine inspection. More on this story in tomorrow's Sun Sentinel.
Also new at 11 tonight, a tip leads police to a warehouse packed with stolen property. Officers are going through a long list of goods, including engine parts, radios, and other electrical equipment. The warehouse is on Northwest 2nd Court and 72nd Street in Miami. CBS 4's Lisa Cabrera is live at Miami PD tonight with the story. Lisa.
Steve, Miami police have confiscated all of that merchandise that was in the warehouse, and detectives admit they may have never stumbled across the place if it wasn't for a young crime victim who was determined and had his car stolen this week. A warehouse full of merchandise, televisions, stereos, keyboards, amplifiers, microwaves, PlayStation, speakers. It's kind of like hitting the jackpot for Justin Hernandez, whose car was stolen 2 days ago.
Now, as you can see, they stripped it completely to the bone. They took everything. Took my engine out, took my music. I had TVs, 22-inch rims, all gold, but yeah, they got me.
Hernandez says neighborhood talk led him to the warehouse to find his car, but before taking it back, he and his friends called police.
With their assistance, we looked at some cars out there that looked like they have been stripped. Some engines were out of the cars.
Detectives inside the warehouse now speculating that much of the merchandise is stolen, pointing to a computer area set up like an office. There's air conditioning and a fully stocked icebox. Word spreading quickly.
I received a call saying that the car had been stolen from the body shop, and we just found it right now in the auto part.
What we'd like to do is get the media's help in trying to identify potential victims that may have had these things taken either in a house burglary or in a warehouse sort of burglary.
Meantime, Hernandez and his friends are grateful to get back their property, even if it's not fully intact.
The car was found, and unfortunately they took all the system out of it. They did take out the one engine, but thank God, with the help of the city of North Miami, we found a lot of the pieces that were missing.
All right, detectives say anyone who is missing property and has photographs or perhaps serial numbers can present that to Miami police, and it will be returned. In the meantime, police are questioning the owners of that warehouse. They say so far, though, they don't have any suspects. For now, we're live in downtown Miami. Lisa Cabrera, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Firefighters finally have the upper hand on a line of brush fires scorching parts of Broward County. The fires have burned in the Everglades for several days, but officials say they are now either controlled or contained. The West Broward fires burned at least 15,000 acres. Another brush fire near the Palm Beach County line charred 14,000.
A car is stolen from a gas station in Dania Beach with a 3-year-old girl strapped in the back seat. The thief jumped into the car while the girl's mother and boyfriend were inside. The suspect dropped the girl off at a nearby Burger King minutes later. That suspect is described as a white male, 5 feet 8 inches tall, medium build, with brown hair that is bleached on top.
U.S. Customs agents will be back at this freighter tomorrow morning looking for more smuggled cocaine. They found drugs aboard the Jenny K today during a routine inspection along the Miami River. The freighter arrived from Nicaragua yesterday carrying lobster and wood. INS is detaining 11 crew members tonight.
Central Park in New York City is known for a lot of things, and tonight you can add nuisance alligator to the list. And since that's not exactly the kind of problem people up there are used to dealing with, they're turning to a South Florida man for help. New York City. It may be a jungle, but it's still no place for an alligator, even in Central Park. So when a gator turned up there, the call went out to Mike Bailey.
Totally different. Never been in New York, so.
Bailey is used to handling 8 and 9 footers, so bagging a young 2-foot alligator in Central Park should be a snap once he finds it.
Caught a couple alligators out of the wild for the Seminole tribe before, and to call them up to you is actually pretty easy. You just got to sound like a food source. Something splashing in the water, a little wounded animal, something of that sort, and usually they'll come pretty close.
Word went out to Bailey through the Seminole Indian tribe. They were contacted by New York wildlife officials when they found out they had a gator problem, albeit a small one. Bailey is really on a rescue mission. There's no way an alligator will survive a New York winter outside. That's also why Bailey says the gator didn't get there by itself.
More than likely, someone imported him illegally, and he either escaped or was turned loose. That'd be my best guess on it.
Bailey's plane landed about 2 hours ago in New York City. We'll let you know how the Central Park gator hunt goes tomorrow. Maggie?
Is he a jealous stalker or the victim of conspiracy? The man convicted of stalking tennis star Martina Hingis says he deserves a new trial. Dubravko Reykjavik will appeal his conviction after learning the prosecutor who put him in jail is now dating Hingis. His lawyer says prosecutor Chris Calkins showed poor judgment announcing the relationship just 2 days after the trial ended.
And if there was a relationship of, in any way, shape, or form, even feelings that he may have had towards her, they should have been disclosed.
Reykjavik was convicted by a Miami-Dade jury in April and sentenced to 2 years in jail. His lawyers will file the appeal by the end of the week.
Miami-Dade School Superintendent Roger Cuevas still has his job, at least for now. School board member Dr. Marta Perez wanted Cuevas demoted at tonight's meeting over allegations he misspent money. Other school board members, however, refused to discuss the issue. Also new at 11 tonight, a police officer puts his life on the line to stop a woman from taking her own.
Police hot on the tail of a stolen truck.
A how to recruit terrorist video by the world's most wanted terrorist.
But first, 5 kids killed in their home, and police say the suspect makes this a double tragedy. There's much more news to stay up for. Live pictures east of Los Angeles where CHP officers are surrounding a car, a man who led them on a 4-hour chase through freeways and surface streets. You can see the cops, guns drawn. They've been there for about a good 45 minutes. That suspect has still not moved from the vehicle. We're watching the story and will continue to keep you updated.
Dodge says Ram is different. Our team agrees. The GMC Sierra Extended Cab, as engineer Mark Cieslak will tell you, has 40 more horsepower standard, gets better gas mileage, and has 4-wheel disc brakes. Not even an option on Ram. Trade different for better. Lease this 2-wheel drive Sierra SLE for as low as $299 a month. Call for residency restrictions and lease details. For $299 a month, you upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your GMC dealer. You're watching CBS 4 News at 11.
Home video shows happy children enjoying a birthday party, but tonight, an unimaginable tragedy for this family. 5 kids killed, and police say their own mother is to blame.
CBS 4's Teresa Estacio is live tonight in Houston with the latest. Teresa.
And good evening, Steve and Maggie. This is a horribly sad story to tell you about. Early this morning, dispatchers received a 911 call from this house right behind me. They say that the mother was pleading for them to come to her house, and when they did, they found a disturbing discovery. The unthinkable happened in Houston on Wednesday.
We were called out to this residence from the woman of the home who said that she needed a police unit to come by her house to check on the children that she was caring for.
When they arrived, it was already all over. Andrea Yates told the responding police officer she had killed her children.
She led the officer into a back bedroom where on the bed, covered with a sheet, were 4 of the children.
A 5th was later found in the bathtub. Police believe Yates drowned her children, who ranged in age from 6 months to 7 years old. After calling police, the 36-year-old mother contacted her husband.
The suspect called her husband, and the only thing that we know that he was told was, "You better come home."
He told police his wife had been on medication for postpartum depression for 2 years, but clearly she was still suffering. Over the weekend, neighbors asked the family to attend a birthday party. The 3 oldest boys showed up with Dad. The mom stayed at home.
I asked him again. I said, it'd be all right for her to come over because I had 7 sisters and all kind of family here. And then he just said, no, that she's, better off just staying home because she was all depressed and stuff.
And we are back here live in Houston. Neighbors have been dropping off cards, flowers, and stuffed animals throughout the evening. Also, state officials confirmed that Andrea Yates did try to commit suicide 2 years ago, and there is this late development Wednesday night. The Harris County District Attorney's Office has filed multiple capital murder charges against Yates, and if found guilty, she could face the death penalty. Reporting live here in Houston, Teresa Estacio, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Thank you, Teresa. A sheriff's deputy in Kansas is being called a hero tonight for a dramatic rescue. The video is from the officer's dashboard camera. The woman says her car broke down, but then she tries to throw herself off the bridge. The deputy grabs her shirt just long enough to change the direction of her fall so she hits the water instead of a concrete pylon. The woman and the officer are both okay.
More video of a slow-speed police chase through the streets of Southern California. A helicopter camera caught the whole thing as police chased two men in a stolen Dorito chip delivery truck through South Central Los Angeles and on freeways and surface streets. That man finally gave up by pulling into a driveway, and the officers moved in.
Some Ohio parents are outraged after learning their children may have been drugged at the daycare center. The kiddie care in Marion is shut down while the allegations are investigated. Two employees say the children were given daily doses of NyQuil to make them sleep.
Came home, he was a little lazy for a couple hours and laid around on the floor for the first 2 hours coming home. Whether it was from the NyQuil, I don't know.
The workers say the children were given adult-strength medicine. As many as 40 children were cared for at the center.
We're on top of breaking news out of Southern California. This is a live look. A robbery suspect who led police on a 4-hour chase is now keeping them at bay on the side of the freeway.
This chase unfolding over about 3 or 4 different freeways before finally it appeared that the suspect ran out of gas right there. We'll keep following it for you, have the details as they develop.
I'm Jim Barry, around the bend in sports. All good things and for the Marlins tonight in Atlanta, unfortunately. But a local coach keeps plugging against some mighty odds. CBS 4 News returns in a moment.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. A design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
Didn't make it home in time? Stanley Steamer gets out the toughest spots and odors. Call today. They'll clean today.
Have 3 areas in your home clean for $89.
Stanley Steamer. Tough on dirt, gentle on carpet.
More water than you can handle? Call Stanley Steamer for convenient 24-hour emergency water extraction service.
Stanley Steamer. Tough on dirt, gentle on carpet.
Driving down the block or across the country, don't take a chance with your kid's safety. Always buckle infants or small children in a child safety seat.
The safe way to go. Brought to you by General Motors and CBS 4.
A terrorist training video for Osama bin Laden is boasting that its followers are behind the deadly attack on the USS Cole. The October attack in a Yemen harbor killed 17 American sailors and wounded 39. U.S. officials have long considered bin Laden, an Islamic militant, a prime suspect in that attack. They say the video represents the clearest link yet to his involvement.
Craig Sesser joins us now with the weather, and a lot of people are wondering which way the wind is going to be blowing that smoke tomorrow morning.
That's right. Well, hopefully those fires are getting contained at least somewhat. Looks like the winds will be easterly again tomorrow, so that's good news. Later in the week, they could change. Let's show you what's going on right now. We're looking at 82 degrees in Miami, 83 in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, 82 in Key West, humidity at 72%. Feels like 87 degrees at this 11 o'clock hour. East wind at 6 and 907-inch precipitation here at CBS 4 Weather Control. Here's a look at real-time radar, which is once again quiet tonight, nothing going on. Last 12 hours, the radar satellite combination showing those showers, brief little showers moving by, and then showers and thunderstorms firing up on the west coast. That's because of that easterly wind flow, but over the weekend, our winds are going to shift to more of a southwesterly direction, so the west coast thunderstorms in the afternoon will shift over to the east coast in the afternoon hours. Here's what we're looking at tonight, though. High pressure to our north, giving us the easterly flow, lingering clouds from the earlier thunderstorms. Tomorrow, pretty much the same story as our winds remain east to southeast. Thunderstorms on the west coast. We stay partly sunny and continued warm, but later in the weekend, that ridge slips south, so our winds go to a southwesterly direction, and the thunderstorms come over to the east coast. Speaking of storms, a stormy evening tonight in the northeast. Portions of New England, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and also even eastern Pennsylvania under the gun from severe weather. Lots of hail and damaging winds. Here's our forecast for tonight. We're calling for a tropical night, late night showers possible. Low near 79. For tomorrow, look for steamy sunshine. Some stray afternoon thunderstorms, mainly inland. High near 90. floating interest-east to southeast winds 10 knots and taking us through the weekend. A much better chance for showers and thunderstorms and pretty warm, mainly afternoon and evening activities. Plan your outside activities in the morning. Back to you.
And Craig will be with us on Friday when CBS 4 News goes live in your neighborhood. We will be broadcasting live from the Cutler Ridge Mall.
So far this week, we've told you about the history of Cutler Ridge, both before and after Hurricane Andrew. Tonight, CBS 4's Joy Purdy takes a look at Cutler Ridge today.
So we're quite proud of our community. But more than anything that I've found in the recent years, particularly following Hurricane Andrew, is a renewed sense of community.
Cutler Ridge is a thriving community, attracting people from across South Florida and striving to give residents everything they could need or want right in their own neighborhood.
We're trying to attract the companies that provide jobs and employment for the people that live in our community.
After Andrew, more than 30,000 people left South Miami-Dade. Despite that exodus, the population of the greater Cutler Ridge-Perrine area has grown to 126,000. That's about 41,000 households, with an average household income of $54,000. The median age, 33. Hurricane Andrew and the shutdown of the Homestead Air Force Base forever changed South Miami-Dade.
We're a much more diverse community. We've had a turnover of residents, so we have a lot of new faces in the neighborhood with new backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds, and that's made us a more open community, I think.
Today, the population is about 60% white, 32% black, 3% Asian, and 5% others. And of all those groups, 34% classified themselves as Hispanic. A master plan for future growth envisions the creation of a downtown area near the South Miami-Dade Government Center. Despite heavy news coverage of 2 separate incidents, a shooting and a sexual assault, in the last 2 months, crime in South Miami-Dade is down by an average of 20% from last year, and it's down by about 50% in Cutler Ridge.
We're doing some things that we haven't done before. We're spending more time meeting people and finding out exactly what their concerns are so that we can deploy our strategies based on their concerns.
Joy Purdy, CBS 4 News.
And we invite you to join us Friday night live in your neighborhood from the Cutler Ridge Mall. Maggie and I will anchor CBS 4 News at 5 and 6 live from the main stage at Center Court.
Coming up for us in sports, the Marlins go for win number 6 as they visit the Braves.
Jim Berry has the tales coming up next. Stay with us.
Welcome to your Florida Lottery Fantasy 5 game for Wednesday, June 20th, 2001. Match all 5 numbers and win thousands and thousands of dollars. Ken Eflin selects tonight's Fantasy 5 numbers. The first number is 8. The second number is 17. The third number is 20. The fourth number is 22. And the last number is 3. It's fame, fortune, and adventure, the new scratch-off game from the Florida Lottery. Win a vacation at Universal Orlando, or you could win up to $10,000 instantly. Every ticket is good for an exclusive Florida Lottery offer. 2 days, 2 parks for only $48. All drawings are supervised by Lottery Security and certified by Valiente Hernandez IA International. Tonight's Fantasy 5 numbers are 8, 17, 20, 22, and 3. And remember, when you play, we all win.
One stage, 1 hour. The hottest rising women in music. Yolanda Adams, Jill Scott, India Ari. Ooh, these women can sing. Next over.
Tomorrow at 4 on CBS 4.
In South Florida, we move to our own rhythm. We also celebrate in style. And right now, we're celebrating Chrysler minivans. Chrysler Town & Country, the best minivan ever. Voyager, named Best Buy by Consumers Digest. Now get $2,000 cash allowance on Chrysler minivans. Visit your South Florida Chrysler Jeep dealer.
Love playing around with stuff? Then get into Best Buy, where you can play around as long as you'd like. Actually, that's half the fun. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Welcome to RealPages.com. Specials on aisle lamp, mirrors, Get an idea online at RealPages.com.
CBS 4 Weather is sponsored by the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South, the original search engine, helping Miami area companies achieve their business goals.
Jim Barry here now with sports. Well, after spanking the Braves twice, the Marlins tonight feel payback. In Atlanta, defense lets them down. John Henry settles in for a pitcher's duel, and things go sour in the fourth. Chipper Jones singles off A.J. Burnett. That scores one, but when Alex Gonzalez bobbles the relay, score two. Alex, 2 E's in 1 inning. Preston Wilson at least returns with a bang. His solo homer cuts the lead in half, 2-1 at this point. Otherwise, Greg Maddux sails through. Louis Castillo fans 4 times looking. Why do you even have a bat? Atlanta's Rico Brogna ices the game with this 2-run homer in the 8th. Marlins fall tonight by the score of 7-2. Jose Canseco is out of baseball exile. The Miami Slugger finally has a new big league job. Jose is signed by the Chicago White Sox. He'll DH there for the rest of the year. Canseco, cut by California before the season, has been playing in the Independent League. Jose's new team today has a birthday boy, and Carlos Lee gives himself quite a gift. He reaches down to drive this one out of Comiskey. Lee's shot beats the KC Royals 2-1 today. Ex-Dolphin Tony Martin is going back to the future. The receiver re-ups with Atlanta. Martin helped the Falcons run to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, but after signing on with the Dolphins, Martin just didn't seem to have the same sizzle. The Finns cut him after last year's injury-plagued season. Well, boxer Oscar De La Hoya has a new slogan: if I lose, I quit. Oscar the Golden Boy looked mortal last June against Sugar Shane Mosley. But De La Hoya says if Javier Castillejo whips him Saturday, he's gonna retire. Oscar's a 9-1 favorite, so he's not exactly going too far out on a limb. All right, Sunday night on The Wrap, a heartwarming story of determination. A rare infection has cost Sunset volleyball coach Ernie Ariel a hand and both feet, but he has not lost the will to coach or the spirit to move on.
As bad as it may seem that I have to wear 2 fake legs and a fake hand, and you know, I'm here. I have my heart, I have my soul, I have my family, I have my friends, you know, I have my co-workers, I have volleyball.
Julian Gonzalez has more of Ernie's story Sunday night on The Wrap. And finally, one Red Sox fan will go to any heights to break his team's curse. Paul Giorgio has climbed Mount Everest and put a Red Sox cap on its peak. He wants to break Boston's infamous Bambino curse. Baseball lore has the team haunted by the trade, which sent Babe Ruth from there to New York. A holy man in Tibet told Paul that the cap trick might just do the trick. Paul, I hate to say it, but some folks will believe anything. I don't think that'll help one bit.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, bye.
I'd like to take a moment and bring you up to date on a story we've been following through the evening. Live pictures once again of a minivan. This coming to us from Los Angeles. This is the end of a